From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Friday Night Football.
Welcome into the studio tonight, the best night of the week, some high school football, so many great games to get to tonight.
This show is so much better when you're here.
Thank you, that's so nice. I was
Doing it solo is not that fun.
It's not as fun. And
it's a lot of highlights.
I know, and it's just like the end of the week, it's going to be tired, but now we get this energy. We're fired up. We both saw some excellent games tonight. Timberline still undefeated. We'll get to that in a second. But we're going to start off tonight at Mountain View. Henry Nelson and the Mavs looking to get back into the win column, playing host to Austin Ramsey and the undefeated Eagle Mustangs. 7-7 at the half. This was a defensive slugfest. Third quarter, Nelson gets the Mavs on the move. Under pressure, he heaves up a moon ball to Kian Foy. The senior comes down with it. That's a huge connection. But the Mavs, they would turn it over on downs just a few plays later. They couldn't scrape any points away from it. Fourth quarter we go, all tied up. Austin Ramsey finds his favorite target. That's Noah Burnham. He hits the Jets and burns him on the way to the end zone. Eagles up 14-7. 3 minutes to go. Fourth quarter, one possession game. The drama at a peak here. Nelson trying to make something happen. Can he be the hero? He gets into trouble here in the pocket. He just tries to throw it away. But Colin Duarte says, not so fast. He's there to pick it off, and he's taking it the other way. What a turn of events. He takes it all the way down to the 18-yard line, and then, look at this, hits him with the Uno reverse card. I've never seen this before. Gets it to the Eagles sideline, and then he just shows the Mavs fans, hey, sorry about that. Mustangs punch it in right here. If you guessed it, Burnham again. They hang on to win 21-14, 5-0 on the season.
Undefeated Mustangs. How about undefeated Timberline taking on Capital on homecoming? Homecoming for the Eagles, that is. Getting crowned there. Watch this celebration practice. Might be a little foreshadowing for these two. Wolves up big at halftime. Let's go second half now. Jack Brandt. Hey, he busts this one wide open. Finds his guy, Hudson Lewis. There he is. Put him in the spin cycle. Finds the end zone, no problem. Recently flipped his commitment to Utah. Very interesting. There's that celebration we were talking. Swim through it, baby. Swim
That's nice.
through it. They're always practicing the celebration. Hey, the Eagles, they struggle to get going offensively. Hey, Quincy Clay. We say his name every single week. End around. Touchdown. Shows off his speed, but it's all Wolves in this one. Brandt taking it himself, 50-19. Timberline 5-0.
Wow. Those guys in the icy whites, too. They've got the swag, they've got the skill, they've got the undefeated record. Headed over to Centennial High School. They are hosting Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, the Grizzlies looking like a top team in the Valley. They showed it again tonight. Caitlin Custer, how about he finds Cody Wheeler? What a football name. Show him the wheels. Breaks the tackle on the sideline, finds the end zone. Grizzlies all over the Patriots at that point. Then, watch this. It's David Miolo on the punt return. Everyone thought this was a touchdown. Grizzlies were going crazy. I thought it was a touchdown. But not so fast, my friends, as Kurth Ngongo saves the touchdown on the goal line.
Wow.
That right there is what you teach. Danielson says effort and mentality. That's what you want to see out of a football player in a blowout. Unfortunately, it didn't matter. The Grizzlies find the end zone. Easton Young punches it in right there. Grizzlies all over your alma mater.
I know it. You love to see that hustle on defense. Good for that young man making that play. Making it on TV here tonight. We'll take you out to some action from Thursday night. The Borah Lions headed down to Donna Larson Park in a rivalry matchup against the Boise Brave. And check this out. Early in the first quarter, a stalled Lions drive. They say special teams wins and loses games. A Boise player touches the ball on the return, and it's a fumble. The Lions swarm to the loose ball.
Live ball.
The refs give the signal. Lions back in business. And with that field position, Borah's running back, Merritt Knight. He's going to just carry it in for a touchdown there. Great hustle. The sideline was screaming. He was down. Maybe the knee touched. I don't know. We slowed it down. It still looked good to me. It counted on the scoreboard. The
tough
Braves.
to be a ref.
Tough job indeed. The Braves would answer. Look at the release, by the way, by this quarterback, Trevor Schoolfield. The sidearm, the Jake Plummer drops a dot to Kale Heikkinen. Get the Brave on 30, and then that dart to Eli Rich in the end zone. Seems like Boise would just keep answering. This was a great game They come back from 14-7 at the half and win 21-14 over their rivals.
This was a great game right here. Check out the student section for Middleton and Meridian. What a barn burner this one was. Watch this play right here. Easton Nangary throws to
all day.
Dason Bolts. How about that for a little touchdown? Meridian High School getting on the board there. Yeah, all day in the pocket. On the ensuing kickoff, watch this return. You talked about special teams. This will set you up in a hurry.
Look at
down the
blocks.
sideline he goes. Doesn't quite find the end zone, but puts them in business. Then on the offensive side, trying to find his wide receiver, does over the middle. Hey, this was a really tight game. We couldn't be there for the entire thing, but Meridian gets on the board for their first victory of the season, 21-20.
That one feels good. You can get that off your shoulders. You can just say, hey, we got the win, and we can focus on the rest of the season. Great effort by the Warriors. Let's take you out to Columbia for some 5A action. This was a really interesting game, Austin. Look at this dot here. That's Benavela with plenty of time in the pocket. He finds Dom Wolfus right into the end zone. That's a clean touchdown. Nice spiral there, too. Columbia not going out without a fight, though. Look at this interception. Right place, right time by Troy Swain. And it's Easton Zigraff, who's going to keep it for himself, heading right through the defensive line, pretty much untouched for a touchdown.
What a game this was.
Absolutely. Bishop Kelly getting tested by Columbia. They would hang on to win 22-20.
How about Nampa and Skyview? Dominic Almaraz, quick handoff. Cartez Hernandez, touchdown. Easy. Hawks keeping the fight, though. Trevon Plew handed off to Lucas Hensley. Hey, he fights in there. Fights off a herd of Bulldogs.
I love that.
To make the touchdown. Dominic Almaraz, though, watch this pass.
Oh,
this might be on top plays. What a dot there.
Absolutely.
We should have a new segment, Dime of the Night.
Dime of the night.
Because that was really close.
That was
a good one
pretty.
right there. What a game.
Ridgevue taking on Caldwell High School, and they were looking to hand it to the Cougars. On your screen here, you're going to see wide receiver Cam Johnson scoring early in the first half of this one. This would get the team up 21-0 in the first half, and it was just putting them away early. Johnson scores a punt return for a touchdown in the second quarter. The Warhawks, they'd keep the energy high and the pressure on the Cougs. It's going to be Martin, number 22, the linebacker. He's going to get a tackle for Ridgevue here after that incredible celebration. I'm getting ahead of myself here, Austin. I need some coffee here. I think it's the play here.
The gentleman who got the punt return, by the way, number one on top plays last week, touchdown catch, interception for a touchdown on the very next possession.
Just making plays all over the gridiron there tonight. And a lot of great defensive plays here from this one. Once again, Ridgevue's going to stop. That's going to get a stop here. They're going to sling it down the field. That's just a nice dot. I mean, you talk about dot of the night, dimes of the night. That's a great connection right there. This one would end in Ridgevue's favor, though. They handled Caldwell 56-15.
Out to Eagle High School, 4A Fruitland in Coal Valley. Fruitland quarterback Titus Vidlac. We've said his name a lot over the last couple weeks. He takes it himself, puts them up 6. The scoring for Fruitland would not be uncommon. Not long after that play right there, how about Vidlac to Killian Wilson? Easy touchdown. Fruitland brings it up to 13-0 by the end of the first quarter. And hey, Fruitland stays undefeated, 51-20.
Man, those guys are tough to stop as soon as they get going there. And you got to give it to Fruitland. 5-0 again. Every year they seem to be some sort of a perennial powerhouse. Really tough to stop at that level.
Yeah, shout out to all of our just photogs and everybody.
Absolutely.
Getting all this footage so we can provide Friday night football to everybody at home.
Absolutely. And to the games we couldn't get to tonight, here's a look at the 6A scoreboard here. And we were talking about a couple of these scores jumping out at us. I can't get over that Timberline Capital game, 50-19.
What happened at Hawaii?
That was, we were there. I was there at Hawaii tonight. Camera ran into some technical issues I was bummed I had to leave, but look at them coming back. CUNA was putting the pressure on early. Hawaii comes back. They hang on to win 16-14. That's another undefeated team at the 6A level.
Sorry, I totally skipped over your statement there. But Timberline, they put a statement out there tonight. Let's just say that. On homecoming night for Capital, when I got there, it was 34-7, and they just absolutely took it to them in the second half. At one point in the game, they had the ball for almost the entire third quarter. They were rushing the football effectively. They were passing the ball effectively. Those wide receivers over at Timberline, really impressive. Obviously, Hudson Lewis is one of the best wide receivers in the state of Idaho, recently flipping his commitment to Utah. But Timberline Wolves, you and I were looking at the schedule.
Middleton,
they might be undefeated
Centennial,
for a while.
Then Rocky. So they've got a pretty decent path, knock on wood, to the playoffs. But still, 3 games to go. And that defense is tough to score against Timberline. We'll take a look at the 4A level here, or the 5A scoreboard. Again, I got to get that caffeine going, man. I am just dragging tonight.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
We did a full-hour game day show before
Absolutely.
Friday Night Football.
That 22-20, I got to give so much props to Columbia. They came into the season, they're fired up, they're trying to make a statement. They take Bishop Kelly, who beat Ridgevue not too many weeks ago, and they take him. It's a 2-point game down at Columbia. That's a really hard-fought loss, unfortunately, but I think that says a lot about the direction this program's going.
Absolutely. I mean, you could take a loss like that. That could springboard you for the rest of the football season. There's still plenty of games left for them to go out and prove themselves. I mean, Bishop Kelly, we've been talking about it. They look like the best team in 5A. After beating Ridgevue, and not only beating Ridgevue, but kind of dominating that game as well. So some interesting scores as well, too. Ridgevue all over Caldwell. We showed you that one. And then Valley View Emmett.
Valley View Emmett, another one score.
Another great game.
There was a couple of blowouts there tonight. Twin Falls dropping 40, shutting out Mountain Home, and then Minico sticking it to Burley tonight, 40-7. Now we can jump down to the 4A level. Fruitland, Coal Valley, we showed you that one. They are just rolling this season. Weezer edging out McCall Donnelly 21-14. And look at this one. We don't see this too often in high school football. 7-6. Talk about a defensive barn burner right there. I mean, that's a tough game to find the end zone.
I always wonder if that was 2 field goals or if that was a touchdown and blocked extra point.
Ooh, or trying to go for 2.
Because that, try to go for 2 to win it. Absolutely. That is one of those games where you just wish you could be out there. And that's where we want your help. If you have anyone that is shooting these games, any footage, anything that you could send us, feel free to email us because, hey, we want to put your school on this show. We want to get your school representation on the top plays. We want to show the highlights. We want to be the #1 provider of Friday Night Football.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen we could just talk to a brick wall about football all night. So the more that we can have, the better. We live for this stuff. And we also live for these top plays. There was a few of them to pick from tonight. Number 3, it was your guy.
Go out to Donna Larson for Timberline. Watch this. We slow it down in the beginning. Beautiful catch. How about a spin cycle?
Man, he's tough to bring down.
And he's not like the biggest tall-wise wide receiver, but he's so shifty in the way he runs routes, in the way he breaks tackles. He's got the spin cycle, plus now he's got the end zone celebrations.
I'll say
Utah.
Looks like a young Austin Pettis. I'll say it. Broncos fans might appreciate that one. Number 2, to the Eagle Mountain View matchup. We got to give this one to number 2. Is that Kean Foy again? Coming down with the catch. Yes, huge play for Mountain View there. We'll slow it down again. This is a tough catch to make. It's one-on-one coverage. It's a physical game all night, and he's able to reel that in. I got to give it to him. Number 2 on the spectacular catch.
Shout out to you for shooting that. Great shot.
Yeah, great shot, great pass, great game. And number 2, this is the number 2 one again. We'll show you number 1 now. And same game. This is the end of it. This is Nelson trying to make something out of nothing. He's trying to throw it away and then gets into trouble. It gets picked off. Colin Duarte, we gave him number 1 of the night because we had not seen a play like this, or a celebration rather. The Uno reverse card. Then he just holds it up to the other sideline. I think that's a pretty sweet. We've seen the turnover belt. How about the turnover Uno reverse card? That's pretty cool.
I still do think that Idaho has the best turnover item with the sack of potatoes. The turnover sack, right?
It's just old school, right? Nothing flashy. That's just who they are.
So what biggest surprise for you thus far in the high school football season? I know you've been traveling a lot, obviously, but what surprises you?
Yeah, I just feel like Timberline's really got a lot of my attention right now. I mean, we got to give it to those guys. They've been a team that's kind of been on the cusp for a little bit, and it seems like this year, especially on offense, turning a corner, 5-0. I mean, that's tough to do in this league.
When you got a quarterback who's willing to lower his shoulder when it's in an absolute blowout, that's when you know you got somebody who just loves to play football and wants to win football games. I think you could say the same thing with Hudson Lewis. The Wolves, team to look out for, big time.
Look out for. And then I want to say also, Eagle. I keep winding up at their games, and it seems like no matter what kind of a dogfight it is, they are able to take a punch and then bend, don't break. I mean, it's what Spencer Danielson talks about, too. It's like, how can we respond when we face adversity? Like after that big play where the Mavs are driving, they're setting up shop in their territory. Eagle forces a turnover on downs, and they hang on to win that game. They get 2 interceptions in the second half. I mean, that's going to be another team that's tough to bring down.
100%. I think the Eagles or the Mustangs, excuse me.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, Eagle Mustangs.
That's right. Yeah,
I just get it.
Two mascots in one.
Yeah, get a little bit confused. But, no, the Mustangs look solid.
Yeah.
I covered their game last week while you were gone. Took care of business at home. Looked like a polished football team. That's what I would say about them, representing that area well, for sure.
So we got Eagle, Rocky, Timberline. Am I missing?
Bishop Kelly?
Bishop Kelly undefeated. A lot of good teams, still a lot of season left to be played. It's going to be interesting to see this playoff race, where that seeding lines up as we get closer to the end of the year.
I think what we'll do as well, I just threw this out on top of my head right now. We're going to create a mid-season top place.
Okay.
So the best of the best from the mid-season, because we're pretty much already here. We're going to bring that to you next week on top of the top place. We got double top plays. We got all the top plays.
We're going to put this crew to work, I'll tell you what. Hey, you might have noticed on the desk here, it's the Front Porch of Idaho helmet. Boise State generous enough to lend it to us for the night. We wanted to showcase this for our show tonight, the pregame show, which aired earlier tonight. But we're going to be live with this helmet again tomorrow night on the Blue an hour before kickoff. You can find that pregame show on KTVB+. That is the stream. Of course, we're going to have 4:30 to 5:30. Right up to kickoff, we will have that pregame show for you. We've got the gentleman who designed this helmet on a live interview coming up tomorrow. We're back on the Blue. It's been a minute. We're here. That's right. The guy who designed this, unbelievably talented artist, and Jeremiah Dickey stopping by the show, and a former Boise State player making an appearance as well. He's raising the Blue Chaos flags. We've got all that, the injury report, so much more. 4:30 before the game. Find us on KTVB+.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.